the Bob Show now. What should I talk about? Make sure you're washing your balls.
Manscaped ad?
You guys are... I know you guys are gamers, and I've been to enough conventions where you're not washing your balls enough. Or your ass crack. You got to get in there with the soap.
You gonna stick a finger in there?
You suds up your hands and stick the whole hand in your ass.
All right, audio and video watcher / listeners. Everyone made fun of me recently when I did a fake ad read. They were like, oh, that's dumb. That'll never work. Well, look at us now. Tokyo Treat and Sakurako.
That's definitely the reason why we got Tokyo Treat and Sakurako involved here.
Let me have it.
Look at all this cool stuff.
I'm excited, actually. I love Tokyo Treat and Sakurako. I've been working with them for a while elsewhere, but they wanted to sponsor the podcast too, which is incredible. It's seriously one of my favorite sponsors to work with because I love Japan. Bob loves Japan. We love eating. We love snacks.
I've always wanted to try Tokyo Treat, but I've never tried it. I've always heard about it, and I've never tried it. So today's the day.
It's great to have Bob here for this because he can pronounce all the Japanese things that I usually butcher when I do my
Bite
reads.
into Japan. Itadakimasu.
Dude, I'm impressed. I don't even know if that's correct. So right now, Bob's opening the Tokyo Treat box, which is the more popular snack-filled box.
They got Pokemans.
It has up to 20 of the latest, most exclusive, limited edition, and seasonal flavored Japanese snacks that are only available in Japan for a limited time. Bob, there's
Salt
always...
lemon Kit Kats.
Dude, there is always a bag of those Kit Kats in these boxes, and I have so many. I have coffee from last month. I have cookies and cream from the month before. It's my favorite part.
I gotta try that.
Lemon.
Salt lemon. I actually like citrusy stuff, but this is a wacky
I'm
wild
excited
flavor.
For salt lemon. So that salt lemon is in there because it is part of this month's theme, which is a
that's good.
Tsukimi. See, I need Bob's help.
Tsukimi.
Which means moon viewing, which is the Japanese festival for autumn moon in September, expressing gratitude for the good harvest and hoping for another good year. So how are those salty lemons?
That was actually really good.
I know.
You gotta
Kit Kats.
you gotta like citrusy stuff.
Yeah, you
pizza
got
snacks. You ever had pizza snacks?
I love.
I'm not kidding. I used to go to the Korean market and get pizza. I used to only get pizza snacks.
I'm excited. I'm like watching you do it, and I kind of want to open mine. Actually, let me open the Sakurako box.
You do that while I read off what Sakurako is all about. Sakurako celebrates Tsukimi through its Kyoto Moon Festival box. Partnering with local Kyoto government, they invite you to experience the cultural and culinary rich snacks of Kyoto, the birthplace of Japan's Tsukimi celebrations.
Cute.
What is it?
There's like,
I want to see it.
I don't know if you can see. There's like this little pack of individually wrapped candies.
Oh my god!
I don't know what it is.
All snacks pair excellently with Gyon Sujiri Hojicha tea in this month's box.
This box actually is my favorite. Yes, I did. This is my favorite. I like this one the most because I am big on tea. I'm Australian. I love tea. They always send exclusive teas in this box, and then you drink them with all the little biscuits and the cookies. Sakurako has 20 artisan and authentic Japanese snacks, including one kitchenware item.
These Hello Kitty little biscuits are gigantic.
We're just gonna sit here eating.
We're just silently
now.
eating stuff
with like dead air and crunching.
You can enjoy your own box of whatever we just talked about. Use the code Nontendo to get $5 off your first Sakurako box through the link in the description of the YouTube video. And
Dude,
Tokyo
these ones are
Treat
amazing.
and Tokyo Treat. You can do that too at the link in the description.
These ones are like little cookies that have like a little candy coating on top, and they're so good. You can get it right now. Did you say this yet?
Yeah.
Nontendo?
Oh, yeah, baby.
Okay.
They have a waffle. I love little treats.
Man, this is so much fun. I'm glad we have sponsors now. Oh, I have a lot. There's a latte pudding in this one.
Do I have the same thing that you got?
Yes, you have the same one I got. Now I want to open the Tokyo Treat one. All right. We got to keep this read down because you guys want to get into the episode, but this
There's
isn't
so many
fake.
little biscuits.
I know. This isn't fake fun we're having. Tokyo Treat and Sakurako are awesome little boxes. They're not little, actually. They're massive, filled with snacks. Use code Nontendo. Links down below. Oh, wait,
Look at how much
Bob,
bread
show
is
the-
in this.
What's the little dinnerware, the little dinner dish?
What
I'll
is
open
it?
that.
Oh, you open
There's
that.
always in
That's the
Sakurako.
Sakurako.
There's always a little diner dish, and we're
little tea
collecting
set.
them. Dude, this one's really cute too. It's like a little.
Oh,
ball.
it's
I
the
put-
Moon
I
Festival
put-
thing. It's on
I can
the.
put soy sauce in them.
The logo's the same as the box.
It is
The
yeah,
box
it's a
is
little Moon
very
festival.
nice.
Oh, and one last thing. If you're ever worried about what's in the box and not knowing what it is, both boxes come with a handy little pamphlet just filled with all the snacks that you'll get, a ton of information on them, as well as dietary restrictions, and even just a ton of information on things like this month, obviously, the Moon Festival. So don't be worried. It's all here.
Code Nontendo. Get $5
That's code
off.
Nontendo, baby, for our first sponsor. Thank you.
Enjoy it. Enjoy your time.
Oh, that salt lemon is really good.
I have an idea for the podcast.
What?
Let's nuke the whole podcast after a year. No, I'm kidding. What are some games, specifically Nintendo games, that you go back to and play frequently?
Like my comfort games?
Sure.
That was one of the VIP Patreon questions.
I didn't even think about it like that, but yeah, sure. Well, who asked that? So we can credit them. For me, I always go back to like the original Super Mario Brothers. That's the game I play maybe a couple times a month. And why? Because it's one of my favorite games of all time. I like to try to speedrun it. I like to try to plow through it as fast as I can. It's one of my comfort games. Also, you can pop in for like 10 minutes, get as far as you can, and then fail miserably, and then stop playing it.
Brendan McCain. Or McCann.
Thank you,
There's
Brendan.
no I. My favorite comfort games? God. I'm
specifically thinking of like retro games, but I guess if you're saying comfort games, you can bring up games like No Man's Sky.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
No, if we're talking about like games that I've always loved and I can always pop in and play.
Well, that question is asking comfort games.
For me, comfort games is games I played a long time ago and I can always go back and play them again. That's what comfort games mean for me. I'm not like...
I would consider that a retro comfort game.
I get the comfortableness out of it being nostalgic and me having that feeling of like older times. I'm not... I mean, I can't...
Like Animal Crossing is a comfort game. Even when it came out, it was a comfort game.
That you are... Yeah, you have a point on that one. I mean, Animal Crossing is very like life sim, chill, cozy, and comfy. Yeah, you're right. But again, if we're asking me what are my comfort games, the games I find comfortable that I can put in and play anytime are going to be the ones that I loved growing up. Because
I'm specifically thinking of timeless games.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Like Animal Crossing is a comfy game, but like I can't stick it in anytime and play it when I want to feel comfortable.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Okay.
Because I have to want to play it.
The question I was bringing up was for games that are timeless that you always go back to over and over again. That's talking about comfort games, which I feel like we can get into the nuance of a different thing.
I'm saying it's the same thing.
Okay.
For me.
That's fine.
But my retro comfort games, I might be a bad video gamer, but I don't really go back and play old things. Very, very, very rarely. If I'm going back and dipping into the old days, I'm playing things I haven't experienced yet, games that I never got to play back then. And I very rarely stick in something that I'm like, I've played this 1,000 times. I can't wait to play it again. My brain doesn't fire that way. I've played it 1,000 times. There are very few games I've played multiple times. I think I finished Alan Wake like 3 times, and I've finished...
over how long of a period? Was it back to back to back?
There was like, I played it once, and a couple years later, I wanted 100% it, and I had to play it twice. So there was like a reason why I was playing it. And then Ocarina of Time, I've obviously finished a few times, but I don't know. I can't really like, I don't relax that way. I'm not like, man, what do I want to do tonight? Because I want to feel comfortable. I'm gonna play Ocarina of Time again. For me, it's what haven't I played yet? What's in my backlog? What you know? And I'll chill and have a nice time.
So you picked up the Ein Odin or any emulator.
Mm-hmm.
what are you firing off on that thing first? What are you playing? Are you just trying to see the limitations of the device? Or are you digging into your past and pulling something out? Because that's why a lot of people buy these devices.
Right.
So they can dig into their past and pull something out that's cool.
I bought that thing because I was live and people said I should buy it. And it looked cool and I could make a video with it. I haven't touched it since I made that video. I have no reason to touch it because all it can do is play stuff I've already played.
You know what? I'm the same. It's my favorite portable emulator. But I've been picking up the 3DS. The hacked 3DS.
I don't know, man. Like I've got Switch, Steam Deck, PlayStation 5, Xbox. I'm really not at that stage right now where I'm looking back. And it's weird. I have games right now that I'm like, man, one day when I'm old, I'm playing that again. For me, like right now, Red Dead 2 is like, I can't wait until I have nothing else to do but play that game again because I really want to.
Wow, you're like a modern gamer.
But I'm like, I'm not going to because I have too many things to do. I'd say at this point, I cater way more to more modern. And I think that's mostly because it's the modern realm of gaming is so exciting right now with so many things coming out at a faster rate than I can ever catch up.
I am so the opposite. I'm so bored by everything that's coming out that I'm reaching into the past and I can't wait to friggin' play Mario again. I'm still trying to get through Mega Man Zero. It's an incredible game, but it's so freaking hard. I put it down for months and then pick it back up and try to fight the next boss, and then I get frustrated and I close it and pick it back up. I've had the same save file for Mega Man Zero across my original Pocket Boy thing, and then I shoved it over to my computer, and then I shoved it over to another Bit Boy, and then I shoved it over to the Pocket Go and the Retroid, and it's been carrying to all my different emulators because I've been trying to beat that game so much. So Why don't you
just sit down and finish it?
I haven't finished it.
Well, just sit down and do it.
It's so hard. I keep trying to.
It sounds like more work trying to keep the save alive.
I spent 45 minutes trying to put it on the 3DS.
You could have finished the game in that time.
I like, my favorite thing about gaming is figuring out these weird ways to play the game, not even just playing the game. But Mega Man Zero is incredible, and it's incredibly hard. So I think what I'm doing is putting off beating it because it's so hard.
It sounds like it. For me, I could list like so many games right now that I like that I need to finish. I mean, like, I cut Elden Ring off at the credits just because I'm like, I need to be done. I need to play something else. I never finished Horizon Forbidden West.
So you never beat Milena or whatever the hell?
Never did Milena. There's a bunch of things I didn't get to do. And I loved that game. That's one of my favorite games. And I'll probably never experience the whole game just because I don't have time to sit there finishing something I've finished when I have all this other stuff to play.
I mean, I get that way too. Like, I don't finish things. Like, I still haven't beaten Stray, but I do intend to finish that.
That's a pretty easy one to finish.
Yeah, I have like an hour left.
Whenever someone complains a game's only 4 hours, I'm like,
no, I'm like, hell yeah,
that game's fun. I can finish it in 4 hours. Thank God.
Yeah, I don't really care if it's short as long as it's a great experience.
And the price is like comparable.
Like the first Portal, I think, is like 2 hours long, and it's an incredible 2 hours. But yeah, I frequently get overwhelmed with a lot of stuff that, even though I just said I'm bored by all the stuff that's coming out, I get overwhelmed by a lot of stuff, and I'll play games for like a couple hours just to see how it is, and I'll be like, all right, I get the gist. Let me go back to playing Mega Man X or something. And
then you never touch that game again?
Yeah, and I will go back to and play the retros. I will spend, like, recently, I've been playing Smash Bros. Ultimate again. So, like, instead of playing Stray, I'm playing Smash Bros. Like, I have an hour left, but I'd rather play this game I've played 1,000 times.
It's a fun game. So, if you're so bored with everything coming out, and you think it's all the same poopy schmoopy crap, what is your game? What is your dream game that you would want to come out?
Oh God,
that would actually appease the man, the myth, the legend, Bob himself.
So that game was Mario Maker, and then they made the second one, and they ruined a lot of things that they did right in the first one, and then they added things that I thought were going to be really cool, like the multiplayer, and then it ended up being really bad. So I also really loved Mario Royale, the hacked together game that guy made and then got DMCA'd almost immediately. That was a really good idea. I think that there's no reason Nintendo can't make a Fall Guys, you know, or
well, yeah,
a
they're
2V
making that
version.
Kirby game, which is literally a Fall Guys clone.
Yeah, but only 4 players.
Yeah, but
I want a Nintendo Battle Royale. That would be sick.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't done that.
But it doesn't have to be shooting. It could be like a Fall Guys situation, and that would be sick as hell. So that's my type of game. But something like that is going back into the retro catalog. Like Mario is digging a lot into the past whenever they make a new game. So I'm not really looking into the future.
Well, my dream game, I don't even know what it would be, honestly. I'm pretty content with everything that's coming out.
I feel like I play on very different ends of the spectrum. Like, I like all this retro stuff, and I always go back to it, but I also play freaking Call of Duty and Valorant, which is, like, super, like, mainstream and next gen and stuff.
Are we playing Valorant tonight?
Why you laughing off screen over there? I have to edit a video.
I thought you've been editing the video.
I have, and it's a very hard video to edit.
What? Why? What is it?
I was up till like 5 a.m. last night editing it, and I was like, I have to go to bed.
I was up really late last night as well for like the most simple and basic thing.
No, didn't you have to edit 10 of you into a video?
Yeah, but it wasn't like...
That's not simple and basic at all.
It wasn't good. I just had 8 of me on screen at the same time, but we weren't having a conversation. The joke is that we were all yelling over each other. The problem was... Like Mr. Meeseeks. The problem was I had 8 video layers, and even with the 3090, it wasn't having it. Yeah. So I couldn't watch it back. So I had to keep doing that thing with Premiere where you render the in to out so you can actually watch it, but it would take 20 minutes each time. And the Premiere is so stupid. So like it'll render everything, right? Everything's good. I've looked at everything. I can play it now perfectly. If you go into one and change the color of something by a smidge,
yeah, you have to
the entire thing needs to be re-rendered, and it takes the exact same amount of time. Yeah. So because I was trying to line up all the green screens and make sure no one was getting cut off, no one is in a bunch of me, it literally took like 3 or 4 hours to get this one 10-second shot that wasn't even that funny.
The most I've ever done is 5 of me. And that's it. I've never gone above 5.
I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for the fact that the joke is we all come in and start yelling and then leave.
So it's like a 2-second little quick.
Yeah, it's like 5, 6, 7 seconds, 8, 9, 10. It's like 10 seconds.
That must have been a bitch to film also.
No, because I did a sneaky. You can't hear what anyone is saying. So I just did like a rough guesstimate. And then for the ones that trailed on too long, I just cut it down. And then in the edit, I had them all cut at the same place, and I just zoomed in.
Okay.
So like you can't tell, and like you can't tell what anyone's saying already anyway. So it works.
I decided to shoot some of this video in anamorphic. I was showing you clips.
And then I had to Google what anamorphic meant, and I was expecting to see a man turn into a bat.
Like the book.
Like the show.
That's
like
the book. You sent me a video of your keyboard thing with like a phone shining a light.
Like, that's not an animal.
And I was waiting for something to change into something or like become something else.
You literally thought it was like Animorph.
Yeah, and then because you're
again, for thinking that, bro.
And then because you had your phone in the shot causing a glare, I was like, maybe it's that. So I googled anamorphic shot, and they all had glares.
Yeah, that's what. Okay,
so I was like, oh, it's the glare, but your phone's in the shot. Could you maybe move that out of the way?
Anamorphic just means it's squished when it's filmed and then it's stretched after the fact. That's it. But it also makes for these cool lighting effects, and that's why all of the shots when you Google it are cool flares, like J.J. Abrams lens flares and stuff.
Right.
So that's what makes it cool, is the cool little.
Do you think they
flares.
used anamorphic shots on the set of Animorphs, the TV show?
They do it on like a lot of stuff's filmed with anamorphic.
Animorphs,
a lot of
great.
TV and movies.
Can we talk about Animorphs?
But that's why I wanted to do it, because it looks really cinematic.
I remember there was an episode of Animorphs where they were breaking into the zoo so they could touch the tiger. You remember how it worked?
Oh, you have to touch it.
You have to touch it, and then you get like a set amount of time, you can become that thing now. Or I think it's always the last thing you touch you can become. So someone wanted to touch a tiger.
I thought every person had a thing that they become.
No, they all can change into any animal, but they can only change into the last one they touched, I'm pretty sure. And they can only be in that form for like a set amount of time. And if they go over, they get stuck as that forever. And there was legit a character that got stuck as like a cat or something.
Yes.
A crow?
Maybe there's probably multiple, but
I remember a bird because they were in a facility or something and they couldn't get out.
Yeah, I thought it was a bird.
There might be more than one. There was a million books.
There probably was more than one.
But there's also like aliens, and like they're the ones who like did it.
No, the aliens like crawled into people's butts or something and took them over.
The aliens were the bad guys?
The aliens were the bad guys.
Because the aliens could also transform. There
They
was like the
crawled
weird
into
like
their
blue
butts?
guys who looked like the blue Abadi Abadai guy.
I don't-
And he turned into, he was like also a horse thing.
I don't remember the
They needed
Yabba
to be
Dabba
close
guy.
to their ship, the aliens, because they needed to drink a special like form of like water every 48 hours.
You gotta
A
give him a
special
microphone for
form
the
of
Animorph
water.
conversation.
He's purposely not so we can end the Animorph conversation.
I don't know. I love animals.
I really enjoyed
My brother
Animorphs.
was
I
all
love the
about
books.
those books. I read like a couple and I was like, I don't know what the
Those
fuck's
books
going on in this
and
book.
Goosebumps were like my childhood.
I liked Holes.
Yeah?
The
Still
book
do.
Holes.
Still do in many ways, I'm
Let's
sure.
go, buddy.
Goosebumps was sick. They got me just on like the covers alone because they were like bumpy.
liked
As
the
a kid, that's
show.
all it took. I would read an entire book if the cover was bumpy.
Wait, I'm thinking of Are You Afraid of the Dark? That's a different thing.
Also, there was the Goosebumps Choose Your Own Adventures, and those were my jam. Those were my favorites.
I didn't like to read.
I don't think I ever actually successfully read a Choose Your Own Adventure without dying. Not in real, not
like
in
real?
life.
Like you for
not,
real?
not in real life. No, in the book. In
You
the
die
book, in the
for
book,
real?
In the book. In the book.
Well, did you read comics growing up? I read
No,
comics.
I didn't have access to comics.
Actually,
I don't
growing
really-
up, I was like in college.
I grew up in the suburbs of like small town Australia. I don't even know if we would have had a comic book shop nearby. So
I mean,
no.
way back in the day, they used to be like in supermarkets, and then you'd see like a like
Yeah,
the
that's
little
true.
circular
I
till
used to
thing.
buy at supermarkets. I would buy something called K-Zone.
What the hell is that?
You probably had an equivalent here, but it was like the kids magazine where like it came in like a plastic case because there was usually some kind of like toy in there as well. But it was all about like video games and like celebrities that kids like, and there was probably a fold out of some band or something in there or like video game or something. It was
We had Nickelodeon magazine.
I remember those.
Did you see the TikTok that's going around, which is the whole commercial for Nickelodeon magazine?
No.
And all the comments are like, how come I knew this whole commercial? And I watched it and I was like, I was saying, it was like one of those repressed memories.
It's like a trigger.
Where you, it's literally like my Winter Soldier trigger. Like I'm going to freaking start killing people. I was reciting everything back and I was like, how do I know all of this? It was terrifying.
something that always sends me back immediately to being a kid and like collecting like fun little toys. And this happened literally a few days ago because Kim and I were in an old toy store. The clear plastic with like the glitter inside.
Are you talking about the little dildo things?
No. So what I
Little
saw,
jelly, the little gel things that are like the clear plastic
No.
that has all the glitter inside.
I
but
mean
it's
like,
liquid.
okay,
You can squeeze it.
hear
and
me
it's
out.
like cylindrical.
Hear me out. This
And
was
you go like this with it.
Stop it. This was a whole thing in the 90s. So what I saw in this toy store, there was like a whole bucket full of Pez dispensers.
Okay.
And one of the Pez dispensers, the top of it was made out of clear, hard plastic with
hard plastic.
glitter inside. And it immediately took me back to like collecting these little like beanie beans or whatever. And you always want to get the glittery ones or the gold ones. That always sends me skyrocketing back through because there was like Dragon Ball figurines at one point, and you could get the clear glitteries.
So that specific style of plastic.
Yes,
makes
because it's like you would want to collect the set, and you would open things up, and you'd be like, "What did I get?" But if you got it in like the gold or the clear, that was like the
it's
rare
like a
or the
holographic
special.
card.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
and like that was like the thing.
Like
that
a
all the
crazy
kids wanted.
bone. You ever play with crazy bones?
What's a crazy bone?
It was like these little figurine guys, and they had like the clear ones with the little sparklies, and those were like the super cool ones. They had one that was an alien that was Napoleon.
I don't remember Crazy Bones. I remember Mighty Beans. That was it. Mighty Beans.
I think they were adjacent. I think they were like the same.
And Pogs.
I used to be a Pog guy.
I had this conversation on my stream the other day, but we used to go to Burger King, or where I was, it was Hungry Jack's, and in the bottom of the drink cup, where you'd usually have the base, they'd put a Pog inside.
Oh, that's sick.
Inside. So you would drink, and then you'd have to like punch out the bottom and like pull out your Pog.
Pull out your Pog.
Pull out your Pog.
Me and my brother had a Pog maker, which was really just a circular hole punch, and you would like take a magazine and like circular hole punch a Pog out of it, and then put it on like a cardboard backing.
I love that.
Make your own.
Did you guys ever
So all my parents' magazines had
Like making a
holes punched
ransom
out
note of
everything,
Pogs.
basically.
did you guys ever play with scanners?
I am not
Like real-
I am
real
not
life scanners?
kidding
What are
you
you
when
talking
I
about?
say 2 days ago I bought me and Kim 2 on eBay and they're being shipped. and
those-
What the hell are you
now.
talking about?
Scanners were like you go to like a store and you scan the barcode and makes a monster.
So
I've never heard of this
do
before in my
you, do you
life.
remember
Billion has a
Digimon?
video on it.
The Digimon like things and like the more like the bigger one that was
Knock
kinda,
off Pokemon, yeah.
Yeah, but you remember the Digivice, the bigger one that you could get?
I only
You kind of held it like this.
my only memory of Digimon is the show and the original Digimon,
You-
which was just a Tamagotchi.
Yes. Well, it was a bigger version. They made it this is kind of a knockoff version, but it was its own thing. It was called Scanners, spelled with a K and a Z. It's a K and a Z. I learned.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's essentially the same thing where you would buy it and then you'd go around like grocery stores or in your cupboard, you would scan barcodes and there was a chance that you would find a monster in the barcode and then you could like catch it like Pokemon and then you could connect and battle your monsters with other people. It was so sick, dude.
I've never
It
heard
was
of that
sick.
before in my life.
That was like a late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
That should be an
was-
app.
That was sick.
I wasn't allowed to take it to the grocery store, so it was always just the cupboard after grocery shopping, just scanning all of the barcodes in the cupboard.
That sounds like a really good way for a big evil corporation to steal analytics from kids.
How?
Like what? Like let's like upload
Oh.
all, what
If it was like an app or something?
yeah, like upload everything your parents bought at the supermarket, and then they take it and they use it as analytic data.
It's so weird the things you believe as a kid though, because like in my kid brain, I didn't understand that it was like algorithms, RNG, whatever. I legitimately thought I had found a monster in a barcode.
It was probably completely random. It probably didn't.
It was
even
probably
use the
completely
barcode
random.
at all.
It was probably like a 1 in 50 chance or
It
something.
was probably,
of
it probably
happening.
just said that's a barcode. Let's roll the dice and see what
Yeah.
happens. Yeah.
What, you don't think so?
No, I'm trying to see if there's anything app based. There's nothing.
By the way, they're very expensive now. I
bet.
got lucky and found 2 for $60.
Oh wow.
They're capitalizing on your nostalgia. Even
And
the
by
old
and by 2, I mean each. Just
Yeah.
to clarify.
the old Digimon and old Tamagotchis are like up there too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, those I
platform.
understand. Old Digimon, old Tamagotchis, I understand that. They brought Digimon back recently, though. You can buy them in Target for $10.
You can buy,
$10. That's it.
Yeah.
you can buy Tamagotchis too. I have a brand new one in there.
Oh my god.
Actually, it might have been on sale for $10, but it was like 10, 20.
Because
or
all
something
people like
that.
us are trying to get back into stuff like that.
Yeah, they remade Turbo Man dolls. You can buy those like new now, and they look the same as they used
Stretch
to.
Armstrongs too. You could buy like all the weird stuff that used to grip on when like,
Mm-hmm.
your nostalgia. They sell all that stuff still, and it's like at Target.
I don't really like want it though. Like if it's not the thing, if it's not the actual thing, and they've just like remade it now, who is that for?
It's for you.
But I don't want it now. It's
Wait,
fake.
is it
It's
different
repro.
or is it exactly the same as it was?
It's essentially exactly the same, but it's not from the 90s. It's not from when it released. It's not the
you want
official
the
thing.
original thing.
If
from
I'm
the
going
90s.
to have it, yeah. Otherwise, I'm just buying a version that was made now.
The Tamagotchis and the Digimon look like they were from the 90s, but they're
Yeah.
like the modern version.
You can barely tell the difference. You have to like look at the date on the back.
I think that's cool. I think that's
It is cool,
because
but
it's accessible instead of paying $60 for
agree.
an original. You know?
I think it's for like the dad who used to play that, and he goes to Target with his kid. He's like, "Oh, I used to play with this. I'm gonna get it for you. You're gonna see." And the kid's like, "Dude, what are you talking about?"
Yeah.
It's for
You know,
that.
it's-
and then
sucks.
goes back to his iPad.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it sucked when they did that with the Game & Watches. Because
I
Game & Watches,
did. Well, I did buy those actually,
I bought them also. I've always wanted a Game & Watch.
but at least those were new versions of them.
Yeah, they changed them in a little bit.
A lot of it.
A lot of it. They changed them a lot of it. I've always wanted an original Game & Watch, but they're like upwards of like $200.
I have a original Zelda one. I have a Zelda one, and I have somewhere a Donkey Kong one if I haven't sold
They
it.
made a Zelda one?
Yeah.
Back in the day?
It was like one of the clamshell ones.
Wow. Because Game & Watches are before Zelda. So
Yeah.
I'm curious when that came out.
I'll take a picture of it when I get home,
All right.
so you know I'm not lying.
I want the one that, I think it was the Donkey Kong one that was clamshell and had a D-pad. Or, yeah.
Yeah, the orange.
That's the one I want. I want the original. But they're
The
expensive.
the orange Donkey Kong one, the clamshell. That's the one I have.
That's the first D-pad ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You can borrow it.
Thanks. God, can I borrow it forever?
Maybe. I don't know where it is.
That's why I want it, because it's the first D-pad ever. Like that, and they haven't changed it since then.
That is true.
That's it, and
that's
the best design the D-pad's ever been, and it's just use that.
I mean,
forever.
I kind of like Xbox Elite.
It's got the same arrows and everything.
I like the Xbox Elite hexagon-y looking one. I think that's an improvement.
I thought I would hate that. And
I really
it's
like
actually
it.
pretty nice.
And then I really like the trackpads on the Steam Deck.
Yeah, what do you use them for?
We've had this conversation.
I forgot everything.
I will say that I've been playing No Man's Sky, and you use the D-pad for a lot of quick menu stuff, and the trackpad sucks because like I'll try and like hit it and it won't quite, and then it will like double hit, and then it will like get rid of it. So I got to like bring my hand up to the D-pad.
The D-pad on the Steam Deck is great, and it's in a fantastic spot.
You think?
Yeah, it feels really good. It's just because the Steam Deck is so heavy. Holding it and playing up there feels really good, especially with the face buttons too.
What other old toys can we talk about?
My dad's a jock. He's not a nerd. Okay,
I didn't say he was,
but he's definitely a nerd. It's all suppressed. And when me and my brother became nerds, it all came out.
So the weeb doesn't skip a generation?
Yeah, I guess not. He went to Japan with me, so he is a weeb. He has one of his old toys. He kept all of his old toys.
Was it just you and him that went?
Yeah.
Did he go to a maid cafe?
I wanted to trick him into going to a cat cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that just didn't happen.
It's so tempting because you'll walk through the street and they're like there and they're like, come on in. And they look so nice and friendly.
They do.
I want to come on in.
I want to come on in. We
But
should have
I'm
come
married,
on in.
so I can't. You know
Yes,
what I
you
mean?
can. You're just hanging out. I'm just hanging out, honey.
Just hanging out with the cat girl.
Anyway, my dad has a Laser Man toy from like the 50s.
Laser Man,
Yeah,
never heard of
it's
it.
like it looks like a G.I. Joe, but it's Laser Man. It looks ridiculous. It's this dude in like a blue jumpsuit, and he goes pew.
We didn't have G.I. Joe in Australia. We had Action Man.
Whoa,
Mm-hmm.
is it the same guy?
It's the same idea, but he doesn't look like military. He just kind of looks like a guy that might have superhero powers, but he doesn't.
That's because Australia didn't have to corrupt the youth and tell them that you should be in the military.
Yeah, we weren't really.
Military is cool.
We
You
weren't
should
big
do
on
it.
like army and military and all of that. We just kind of had one, you know.
My brother recently got into G.I. Joes.
Really,
Like he started buying
I
all
have
the
no
new G.I. Joe
interest.
stuff.
I think we did have some G.I. Joe
My
stuff.
brother likes toys.
Because the brand of G.I. Joe grew obviously outside of, America, but for the most part, I don't think it really caught on. Not like Action Man. I had Action Man. I had Scuba Action Man, little flip flops.
I like figures and stuff. Like I like especially all this cool like video game, like the first 4 figures stuff, like the big Metroid that he's got back at the
That stuff
Samus
is sick because it's all new, but it's new versions of like.
You have the Majora's Mask, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like all that stuff is
Most of my
awesome.
first 4 figure stuff was sent to me by Steven.
But I also like there's much cheaper versions of stuff like that. Like I have a Sigma from Mega Man X out there that's huge, and it was $40, and
Love
it's
that.
beautiful.
That's
That's
Sigma
the
grind
type
set.
of stuff I love. And when we see like the weeb shit, like the little freaking like waifus, like they're beautiful. Like
Oh,
the
they're stunning.
sculpts are so good on them. Yeah,
That's
I wish
why.
I could-
That's why you want them.
I
It's
wish
the
I could have a
sculpt.
whole room of
It's
little
the
waifus.
sculpt that you're admiring. Just
The sculpt.
the art,
Yes,
the work, the
Every
craft, the
little
craftsmanship.
detail, all of the curves.
It's honey. It's
everything.
the craftsmanship. It's the way that they curved around
That's
her
why
thigh.
I spent $300 on
She
each
doesn't
one of these
need
50
the pants.
different.
Just
Waifus.
if you put underwear
Waifu?
on her, it would obstruct from the curves
I get
that they
shit
have
for the way I pronounce
lovingly
it because I say
crafted.
waifu so many times.
The
Waifu,
bust,
yeah,
the
waifu.
way that it projects, it really catches the eye.
I wasn't gonna bring it there. I just like
That's usually where I
it's
bring
the
it.
heart. You got me one. You got me a Hatsune Miku.
I did, yeah.
It's beautiful.
Sorry, I stepped onto your side of the set for a second there. Let me come back over to my side.
Have you seen the latest figure that I want to get? I don't think it's first 4.
No, it's not, but it's a lot of money.
You know what it is? What is it?
The Mega Man one.
Yeah, it's a Mega Man X. That's really cool.
It's like $700.
It's $600 or $700.
$700, yeah.
But you
What?
can get it and it's like Mega Man X, and he's not complete.
Do you know?
Hold on, he's not complete. You can get a thing where it's like the tube that he makes himself in, and that's like $1,200.
You know, I hate that you tag me in those because I want it.
I know.
Like it's so bad. You tag. Go for it.
What my favorite toy was growing up, though, probably, maybe,
Polly Pocket.
No,
Shot in
but
the dark.
Mighty Maxes were sick.
Yeah, they were sick.
That was
The
like
boy version.
That was the boy version of the girly toy. Well, it was, but yeah, Mighty Maxes were sick. Actually, the first Mighty Maxes I found, I actually remember I was at a car boot sale. Do you know what that is?
Garage sale.
Kind of. It's like a big open field where people pull up in their cars and they open their boots and you just
Swap meet?
Yeah, it's like a swap meet. We called it a car boot sale.
Okay.
Because they were all cars, really. I mean, there was cars everywhere.
Yeah.
Swap meets are a little... I guess they do bring their cars. Yeah, whatever.
Similar.
Some guy had like a
Flea
bunch of these Mighty Maxes and we bought like 5 of them for like $5 and that was like my favorite thing at the time. No, my actual favorite toy and the thing I probably spent the most time on was I had these like road tracks from like when I was probably really younger that you could like connect with each other and then like you just put your little broom along it. But what I would do with them as I grew older is, because I had so many of them, I would connect them up around the room, like on top of the bookcase and have it go down along like the TV and then up through, and then I'd get a marble.
Oh.
And I would see what kind of marble thing. And then I would get like the dominoes and I would do like the...
Like marbles before Twitch.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So I'd have it like run down the track. It would hit the marbles. They would teeter down, hit a
write
book.
people's
And then
names on it and have all your friends over and be like, let's see if Jackson's marble.
And sometimes I did it in a hot tub with a big banana in my underwear. And I wrote people's names on my arm.
And I got so much money.
And then I'd say, thank you so much. your marble won the race.
Is this a Hot Wheels or a slot car?
Huh? What'd you call me?
What type of track was this? You said it was like a car track thing.
Yeah, no, it was
Is
like
it
these
a Hot
little...
Wheels?
I don't know where they came from. They were these little gray tracks. I remember them like yesterday.
You put a car on it, or is it?
You could put a car on them. They were like a flat track. They were a road thing. It was like a little... It was a fake
did it have
road.
little bumpers?
Yes, it had little bumpers on the
Hot
side.
Wheels. It's a Hot Wheels
Which
thing.
made it really nice for the marble to not fall off. But that was my favorite, dude. I would... Like, my whole room would be a track. It would be insane. My mom would be, like, knocking on the door. I'm like, don't come in! Because, like, my door would be part of it. Like, the doorknob probably in some way had, like, half the track on it.
And now you have a house,
Yeah.
and you can't say shit. You can
I should
make
do
a
it
whole...
to the whole house. That would
Yeah.
be crazy.
Now
No.
Kim will just yell at you and be like, what are you doing?
Don't move!
I'm trying to live in this house.
Where are the cats? They're part of stage 5!
They can't move either.
No, I spent so much time doing that.
You know what? This is an aside. I saw a picture of I didn't go home last weekend, and my dad apparently took my niece and gave her a super soaker and made her ambush my brother. So I know.
That reminds me of something.
I know that this is going to happen to me when I go see them this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So I have purchased little mini handgun super soakers.
I'm loving this relationship right
So
now.
I'm coming to see my family on Sunday.
Locked and loaded.
Locked and loaded with a full super soaker in my belt.
I thought you were going to say with pee. You
No.
pointing down. Just filled it full of urine.
That's not for them. That's for the tier 3s.
Oh, yeah? Speaking of super soakers, a toy that I asked my parents for years before I finally got were those laser gun tag games where you like got the chess piece and then you'd each have a laser. It came with a twofer so me and my brother could play. That was so much fun.
At
It was like
home.
laser tag at home.
At home, I have that, but it's shock laser tag.
Oh, wow.
I bought that way later.
That's intense.
Yeah. So when you get shot, and it's terrifying because you don't want to get shot. So you're like sitting there like really trying to take cover and stuff.
I think that and a pogo stick is what I asked for most.
I thought you meant at the same time.
No.
That would suck.
Just for
Because
like,
you're like pogoing and then you get shocked. You're like, ah!
I'm surprised I didn't try that. But no, those are the two things I asked. I begged for, and the pogo stick lasted maybe a day that I played that.
One year I asked for a skateboard, and I guess I kitted it out where it was like an expensive skateboard, and my parents got me a box with a tech deck in it and said I owe you, and I'd never got the skateboard.
That's sad. I hope they're listening to this and surprise you with a skateboard.
I got a skateboard eventually, but that's my parents. They're like, you don't deserve it.
Oh, wow. I got pretty lucky.
To be fair, I definitely didn't.
I got pretty lucky on Christmases.
They were good. My parents treated me good for the presents I've gotten, except for that one time. I think they were like, we spoil him too much. Let's fuck him this Christmas.
Oh, that's sad. I still remember getting Smash Bros. Melee for one Christmas. I remember like where I was sitting, like the wrapping paper color, everything. It's embedded in my brain. Also, my nan got me that year, and my mom got me tack for GameCube.
Okay.
So I had tack and I had Smash, and I can't tell you how much I had to fake being excited about the tack, because at first I thought that was the game.
Yeah.
I thought I didn't get Smash Brothers, I got tack, which I'd never heard of before. And I remember my mom saying like, the guy at the store said that this like all the kids like, and I was like, this sucks.
The guy at the store is frequently wrong.
I think she could tell I was like super bummed out and upset. But here's the funny thing. I ended up loving that game. That's actually a really fun game. It's like Nickelodeon brought to life.
But the thing is that like the kid is going to have something specific in their head.
Yes.
Which is what happened to you.
I thought my mom done messed up.
Yeah.
But then I ended up really liking the game. And I could probably go back and play it now and still have a ton of fun.
Right.
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, Power of the Juju. It was good. It's a good
I
game.
don't really have any. I mean, I definitely got video games and like systems for Christmas, but I don't really have any specific memories of like unboxing like a console. I remember that when we got the N64, I think it was for a birthday or something, and my parents didn't get any games. So we went to
Love that.
Blockbuster, and the first game I got was Mortal Kombat Trilogy.
Did you like that?
It was fine.
Yeah.
Because I used to play Mortal Kombat on the Sega Genesis all the time.
I never got a console for Christmas. We had consoles growing up, and then I bought a 64 with my money from working. And then my parents went
From
half.
working?
I started working at 13.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I don't think you can do that in America.
I don't know.
I think I'd be 16.
The
or 15.
64 wasn't like new that year or anything. I think I went.
Yeah, I got it a little late.
I got it late, but it was my own money that got it.
It wasn't that late.
It came
there
out in
weren't
like
many games.
It came out in like
97.
97. Yeah.
There weren't many games.
So I would have got like 5 years after. So I mean, it was new, prospectively, but I definitely didn't get it on launch. I got the Wii on launch, but I had to go halvesies with my parents.
Now the Wii, I remember going to get me and my. So that was hard to get. The year it came out, it was really popular and it was really hard to get one. I went with my friends at like 6 o'clock in the morning. We took the train into the city and went to the Nintendo store because every day they were giving out.
You got your Wii at the Nintendo store?
I did.
That's crazy.
They were giving them out every day. They had an allotment. So if you got there like an hour early, you were pretty much guaranteed a Wii. So me and my friends, we were like seniors in high school, and it was the coldest day of the year, and we waited outside, and we all walked home with Wiis. And I remember we were on our way to the train station. And we saw and it was 6 o'clock in the morning, and our friend's dad was driving us to the train station, and we saw a guy running, and it was the coldest day of the year. And my friend's dad was like, that guy must be a psychopath. And as he got closer, I was like, that's my dad. He was jogging at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
That's pretty funny.
But anyway, that's how I got my Wii. I played Wii Sports forever.
I went and got my Wii in like November when it came out. But then I wasn't allowed to have it till Christmas, even though I paid for half of it. So I had to wait a whole month. I think it was a month to actually get it. And I remember really liking Red Steel.
All my friends were into that.
Yeah, I had Zelda. I had 2 games, Zelda and Red Steel. Obviously, Zelda I played and finished literally in a day. Like I remember I just locked myself in like that whole Christmas. No one saw me. And then after that was finished, I was like, I guess I'll play this Red Steel game, and ended up liking that a lot.
I literally only played Wii Sports. I didn't play anything. I mean, I tried other things, but like, I think I was more into Xbox at the time. Xbox 360.
I was definitely like full blown Nintendo. I loved it up until like 3 years later, maybe, and then I was like, man, the Wii is not getting any games. Everything I get that like my friends have on Xbox, mine's the worst version. So I sold it.
I flip flopped a lot. I had an NES, then I went to Genesis, then I went to N64, then I went to I guess Xbox 360 and PlayStation 2, and then and then PlayStation 4, and now the Switch. Now I'm back on Nintendo, baby.
I hope so. I play everything now. I've been playing everything for a hot minute.
I mean, well, now it's like our jobs is to play all different.
Well,
types
also
of
because
stuff.
I want to. Yeah. There's nothing that I don't want to play. If a game is fun, I'll play it anywhere. I really don't care what platform
the console,
it's on.
You'll play it on anything.
Yeah. I mean, I have preferences with consoles I prefer and everything, but it doesn't phase me one way or another. A game is a game.
I mean, for Nintendo, there was a while, especially around the Wii era, where games were sometimes you're getting like the shittier version of a game. So like that's kind of why I think I was away from the Wii at the time. Also, I was between like playing PC games. I was playing games on PC right before the Wii, and then when the Xbox 360 came out, that's when they started to figure out how shooter mechanics would work on like a console instead of like a keyboard mouse.
I just noticed what your socks say today.
Has
that been brought up already?
I showed the camera at the end of the last podcast.
It says it's okay to fart. Explain those socks to me, Bobby.
Hannah got them for me.
Okay.
And,
Are you?
And it's a statement. They're not wrong.
Are you a gassy guy in the relationship?
Hell yeah, dude. I let it rip.
You keep it in. You keep it in check around the boys.
Sounds like?
Yeah. No, it sounds like a low bass drop.
Yeah, I've heard you fart.
Do you want to hear it?
No.
Yeah.
They put the mic.
I don't got one locked and loaded. I gotta have a little more coffee before I do that.
What's the fart to no fart ratio in the relationship?
It's me farting all the time. No, I don't know. I mean, you know, you gotta let it rip sometimes. You're gonna have a stomach ache?
Do you
Whenever Hannah's like, my stomach hurts, I'm like, just fart it out. Just let it go. That's why your stomach
doesn't?
hurts.
She doesn't? Does she try not to?
Women don't.
Kim and I have been married 5 years.
Yeah?
Women do.
What's the fart to no fart ratio?
I definitely am champion.
Okay.
But if Kim needs to, she's not like, thank you, appreciate it. She's not like hurting herself over it.
I feel like women frequently go, my stomach hurts. And it's like, okay, we'll just fart then. And then it won't.
No, I don't. Kim doesn't care. We're well past that.
Right.
We've been together too long. Not long enough, but too long.
Well, when
you know
we
what I
move
mean?
in together, we'll revisit this conversation and I'll let you know.
I thought you
exactly
meant
how many
we
times
moved. I
she
was like,
farts.
wait, what? Huh? We're moving in together?
I'll write it down. I'll make
No,
a,
but
I'll make a Google Doc.
so like, you know, you're going to fart around her. Like that's not a problem.
I already do.
But do you intentionally make it a good one?
For me, it's for me.
For you?
For me, I'll make it a good one sometimes.
Okay.
If you gotta listen, man, I don't do things half-assed. You gotta fart, you gotta fart.
I want the reaction. Like if I'm going to, I want it to at least be funny. Like
Okay.
I don't want it to be.
That's the thing.
I don't want it to be like, "Ugh, God, he just farted again. I want it to be like a, and then was that you? Was that you or a motorbike that just blew past the house?
Get it locked
That's
and
the
loaded.
conversation that I want to have.
I understand. If you're gonna do it, you gotta do it right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I do. I see that. Thank you. I appreciate you.
What happened?
10 minutes.
Oh wow. We talked about things. Remember we were worried about what we were going to talk about, and then we ended up talking about
I've been worried the entire time. I still
shaking
don't know
your
what we're
boots.
going to say for the next 10 minutes. I really enjoyed the
just cut
conversation.
early. I mean,
I really enjoyed the conversation about all the toys we played growing up. I think I've pretty much tapped out most of the ones I had.
I think it's interesting that
were you a Connects kid or a Lego kid or like a Mega Bloks or something?
I like Legos more, but I did have a lot of Connects.
I had so many Connects, and Connects were very much an integral part of my marble trap.
I feel like I don't know if I'm only a little older than you, but
Like 1 year.
I'm gonna be 33.
Yes, I'm
In
going to be
September.
32.
Oh yeah,
That's how numbers work.
32.
That's
I
what
thought you were 2
comes-
year younger than me.
That's what comes after 31.
My parents are super old though, so I
That's
feel like
also how that usually works.
I feel like they raised me like a 1950s kid,
Okay.
and I used to play with Lincoln Locks.
We didn't have those, but I know what they are.
Yeah, that's like it.
Was that like a not in your time period thing?
That should not have been a 90s thing. That was a way earlier than 90s thing.
Kim came home from shopping the other day with her mom, and she said, "I got you a present." And I was like, "All right, I'm excited." She hands me a cup and ball.
Yeah,
You know, like the thing where you like do this and you try
and was it awesome?
for like a second, and I did it, and then I'm like, "Well, now what?"
That's
She's like,
worth the $4.
She was
it probably
like, "Well,
worth.
I thought you'd like it." I'm like, "Okay."
That's what she thinks of you.
Sometimes she comes home with wacky things. I have so much to do in my life. Does she think I'm going to be sat there going,
That's what her thought process was. You have so much going on. You need to simplify. You need to lean back. If you're not going to reach into your back catalog and play your old games, you might as well reach real deep into the back catalog for games you've never played
real
before.
deep
Yeah.
into some other generation's catalog?
Next, circle and stick.
Okay, horseshoe.
Yeah.
Here's a question that we had a debate over. You know that cup game, right? How it kind of looks like this.
You gotta be more specific.
So it's like a stick, and they have like cups either side, and the ball's attached to it, and you can like flick it up. So the top has a spike.
Okay.
And you can sit the ball on it. I assume for portability. This was like early days of the GameCube handle.
You don't try.
That's my question. Surely that's not something people do.
Yes, they do.
Oh, absolutely.
That's hard mode.
Exactly.
That's impossible mode.
Dude.
Because also the string goes up through that hole.
That's-
So you've got to like.
But that's all they had to do.
Yeah.
Back in the
They
day.
got real cracked at it.
So exactly.
They're
Like if
like the Guitar Hero kids.
Imagine you're like 9 and the only game you have is Fortnite. You're gonna get sick at Fortnite. You're gonna do crazy shit. So imagine you're in the 1900s and all you got is cup and ball. You're gonna do some wacky shit with cup and ball.
It's like a yo-yo.
Exactly.
I wonder how many gifted subs they'll get for streaming that back
Cup
in the
and ball?
1900s. The cup and ball like pros.
They got the little paperboy hat. It's all black and white.
Thank you, Revolution 94, for the gifted.
Stupid.
Thank you, Musket Man, for the sub.
Thank you, Spanish Who. Wow, this went all over the place. I'm still shocked that you don't play a lot of retro stuff, that you don't have like fond memories of games that you want to go back and play often.
It's not that I don't. It's I just don't have the time. It's hard to explain. It's like if I've played something already, I'm really not looking to play it again.
Like I understand not having the time because I could relate to that, but it's also a priorities thing. Like you have the time to play No Man's Sky on your VR headset.
Right, because I've never played No Man's Sky and it's my first time. I'm experiencing it. I'm getting to know the game and I'm having a good time. But when I start to
But
get
it's hundreds
bored,
of hours.
I know. I will say that games like No Man's Sky kind of bum me out because to really get the most out of them, they have to become your thing. You have to invest a lot into it. And once I start hitting the point where I'm really like taking off and having a great time, I start to realize that I can't keep playing this anymore.
Right.
And I never really get to the good. But I would still rather spend 30, 40 hours experiencing it and getting to know the game and being able to talk about it and have a good time with it than playing like Ocarina of Time again. Something I've already played, not diversifying, not learning, not staying up to date, not being current, not, trying new things.
I guess it's, I don't know. I mean, a lot of these old games that I reach back into are things I haven't experienced in those games, but like games that I have played a million times, like some of the Mario games, it's trying to do things differently or better or trying to play them my own way, like trying to play them faster or trying to discover like things that like you aren't supposed to be able to do, like trying to glitch through walls.
Yeah,
and stuff.
see, I've never been interested in that stuff and like speed running and everything. I just don't. I want to play a game the way I want to play a game.
Yeah, but then you have games like No Man's Sky that you go back to, like Valorant that you do, and like for me,
Valorant is the worst offender. Games like that, like these online games where it's fun. It's really fun to play with friends, but ultimately you spend like 3 hours and you have nothing to show for it. Other than a good time.
For me, it's games like Valorant and like Smash Brothers and like Mario Maker, stuff like that. That's games that are just endless.
It's endless. And like it's sometimes I think and I'm like, look, I had a lot of fun, but think of all the games I could have played, all the experiences I could have had. That's a constant struggle and wrestle in my mind.
I think for a game like Valorant, it's more so that I'm playing with people. It's like a social
Definitely.
thing.
If I couldn't do it alone, that'd be depressing. Sorry, but that would be.
A game like Smash Brothers, I will sit there for hours.
Yeah, I do that though. I try and beat people online and then get smashed by the same guy like 50 times until he gets bored of beating me.
Yeah, it happens to me all the time. My problem with Smash is that I will lose to somebody and then I'll go, oh, and I'll go for the rematch and then they don't show up.
Ooh.
They don't do the rematch. And I'm like, let me get him. And I hope that it just randomly gives me the same guy again. And a lot of times it does. And when it does,
and if you
I
beat
go
him,
nuts.
God.
And then I go really hard the second time. That's my favorite thing.
My biggest thing is I lose to the guy like 10 times because I know I'm better than them. And I just want to beat him so that I can prove it.
I know I'm better than them even though I lost.
I know, because I can see how they're beating me.
Right.
I'm like, I know exactly how you're beating me. You're not good. Play it again. yeah, that's the same way you beat me last time, buddy. Let's go one more. Can I say real quickly, we had another TikTok blow up.
Oh.
I did it in my house. This isn't mine, actually. This is E's. but I did a thing like showing it off, and we got 300,000 views. That is now our highest viewed TikTok. And a lot of the comments were focusing on one thing in particular. I said, paraphrasing right now, yeah, I kind of found this thing like before it got popular, and that was all it took. All the comments were, oh, you knew about it before everyone else, did you? And people saying like, I've known about that for like 15 years. This guy thinks he discovered the Panasonic Cube. Like everyone had this, not everyone, but there was a very common thread of people thinking that I thought I discovered this thing.
It's a massive contradiction to be mad at you for saying you did it before at school because they knew about it already.
I want to reiterate though, because for some reason I take comments way too seriously.
Right.
The reason why I said that I kind of knew about this like before it all blew up is because I bought this like 8 years ago.
You meant you got it before it was highly sought after.
Yes,
That's
yes,
what you meant.
Thank you. It was like 8 years ago. It wasn't that highly sought after. I traded a 64 game for it. I was trying to say I found this thing at a time where like not many people knew about it. It wasn't super sought after. Sure, people knew about it. I'd been chasing it for like 2 or 3 years because I knew about it.
That's the problem with talking for hours on end and
having a snippet cut out.
Yeah, is that you're gonna make a mistake.
But yeah, no, I didn't discover the Panasonic Cube.
You didn't?
I just found it finally after looking for a few years for a good price because it was like 8 years ago. I want to stress. I've had that thing a long time. But thank you, TikTok. Please keep blowing up.
I'm going to saw the feed off of this so we put a Game Boy player on it.
Apparently, you don't have to. One of the comments I saw was there was a Game Boy player made for that.
Yeah, we got to find it.
It's very, very, very rare. Yeah. I had that recollection, but I wasn't sure.
Is it more money?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It's very rare.
I mean, it's the regular Game Boy player.
My recollection was wrong because I've seen people saw off the legs and put on a regular. And I was like, well, then if you're doing that, then surely that's the only way. But no, you can get one.
We could also, I'm going to get a new Game Boy player so we can just drill holes in one of the Game Boy players because those are like, the player, the device itself is worthless.
Why in God's name would you buy this beautiful thing and saw the legs off to jankily add on a bass that doesn't fit? Just play that on a regular GameCube.
So that you can use a Panasonic Cube to put Morbius on a PVM.
I like that. I like that you call it Panasonic Cube.
Q?
It's Q.
Q, yeah.
Panasonic.
Because it's a cube. That's come on. That's got to be a common Freudian slip.
I thought you were doing it on purpose. I didn't mean to call you out.
No, I mean, I saw on the box, it's a DVD / and then the Japanese said game player.
$1,500 right now. If you
for the player?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's just you can't find it.
Show me the phone.
It just sits on it. It probably has holes.
Yeah, but it's like gray like this though.
It's not chrome.
No, but that's still cool.
It's cool.
I'm gonna buy one.
That's pretty cool.
I ain't gonna buy it.
Have Jordan do it. He spent $1,500 on a freaking Pokemon game.
True.
Have him give me one of these.
I'll buy one. Who cares?
Jordan. Who cares?
I'll put it next to my Luigi's Mansion arcade that I just ordered. Yeah, let's put it right in my
Thanks,
house.
Dude.
I spent too much money recently changing the flowers in the front of my house.
That's why I don't want to get a house.
I know.
Because that shit terrifies me.
All the hedges and stuff were dead, so we had to get them all ripped out and new ones put in.
And flowers are expensive.
So expensive, dude. Every bed was like $100.
My phone yelled at me and it was like, look at your spending from last month. And I looked and my eyeballs jumped out of my head. And I realized it's because we bought the Nontendo merch that you can get over.
When do I get money from that, by the way?
When we decide to take money out of the money fund.
Where's that getting paid to, the shirts?
It gets paid to our PayPal.
When? I've never seen a payment go in.
You know how actually, you don't do merch through our management. When our management pays us, that's when they add in the merch payment.
Love that.
Yeah. Every month.
Bob.
Yes, hi.
Instead of sawing down the feet, you could take a Game Boy player and just make the holes bigger because that's how it's.
That's what I was saying. Just do it into the Game Boy player.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna have 2 when I get another one anyway. Because I would just want the disc.
Okay, well, we have some more Patreon questions to answer right now in a bonus episode, and then I have to catch a train, and we're running out of time. So we love you guys. Thank you so much. Sorry this episode was kind of random, but literally nothing has been happening, but I think it was good.
I like talking about old shit.
All right. Love you guys. Make sure to rate us and all of that stuff. You know the drill. And we'll see you guys next week for another episode, and hopefully pray to the gaming gods that something happened before then and we can talk about it. Looking at you, Miyamoto. Bye.